This morning, I woke up like a straight up weak version of myself. My jaw slack, my mindset soft, feeling like some fragile little victim. Yeah, I've been traveling like crazy. Yeah, it's been wearing me down. But you think that's a good enough excuse? Nah, man. Recovery is important, no doubt, but don't mix up a needed day off with the weak mentality of, oh, I deserve this or I've earned that. That's straight BS. That's what I was feeding myself today. My self-talk was trash. We all have that little voice inside, don't we? The one whispering, hey, you've done enough, take it easy. Chill, guess what? That voice is full of shit. Most of us think we're working harder than we actually are. You think you've been grinding because you woke up early for 4 days. Get the hell out of here. Most people wouldn't know real hard work if it punched them in the face. Drop that entitled, lazy-ass mindset. Stop lying to yourself about how hard you're going. Most of you haven't even scratched the surface of your potential. You want help, help yourself. Nobody's coming to save you. Develop the other voice, the savage voice, the one that says, no, fuck that. We're not taking it easy today. I don't care if you're running, lifting, studying, or just grinding through life. If it's not a planned rest day, then you don't take the damn day off. Build the kind of mindset that tells the weak voice to shut the hell up and sit down. That's how you win. You don't get strong by coddling yourself. You get strong by going to war with that soft side every damn day. Here's the truth. Life is a relentless grind. It's not a straight path to success. It's a labyrinth of setbacks, walls, and failures. Every time you hit a wall, you figure it out. You turn around, you adapt, and you keep going. That's how you stay hard. On that 17-hour flight, yeah, that weak little voice crept in. Take it easy, man. Nobody would even know. But I knew. And I kept thinking there's someone out there who isn't quitting. Someone hungrier, grittier, meaner than me. They're skipping sleep. They're sacrificing comfort. They're out there grinding harder while I'm sitting here trying to justify taking it easy. Don't let that person outwork you. Put a name to them. Put a face to them. Make them real, and every damn day make it your mission to bury them. When you feel like quitting, remember the hours, the sweat, the sacrifices you've made to be where you are. That's your fuel. When you're out here trying to get better, you better understand this one thing. The grind is forever. There's no finish line. There's no point where you get to say, I'm done. As long as you're sucking in oxygen, you better be putting in the work. Life doesn't hand you a full refrigerator. You'll never arrive. Nobody gives a damn about what you did yesterday. That, yeah, I used to be mentality. That shit is dead. What the hell have you done today? What are you doing right now to make yourself better? People don't get it. They think life is like lifting weights. They see the numbers and say, oh, you're only lifting 90 pounds. But they don't know the grind behind it. 5 sets of 25 with supersets of push-ups, curls, pull-ups, triceps, nonstop, lightweight. Nah, we're talking massive reps, massive effort. You leave that gym swollen, but it's not about the pump. It's about what you're finding out about yourself. And here's the thing. If all you do is bench press, what the hell are you learning? If all you do is swim, what are you learning? People love that bullshit advice about triple down on your strengths. You know what that is? Weak ass bullshit. You want to get better. Triple down on your weaknesses. Attack what scares you. Find out what the hell you're made of. 90% of life is going to suck, man. 10% is where the happiness lies. That's it. The sooner you accept it, the better. You need to train your mind to see the end before the beginning even starts. When I was 300 pounds, I saw myself walking across that stage at 191 pounds. I saw it every damn day. It wasn't about wishful thinking. It was about doing the work to make it real. The pain is part of the process. That vision of walking across the stage, earning my place. That's what made me suffer. I wanted to feel that moment so bad I was willing to endure every ounce of pain. It took me 18 months to become a Navy SEAL. 6 months turned into 18. Most people quit after a week when they don't see results. That's the difference between those who make it and those who don't. We live in a world where you can Google your way out of anything. But real change, real growth, that takes time. It takes grinding through setbacks, plateaus, and failures. Most of you don't have the patience for that. And that's why you'll stay exactly where you are. Life's going to test you. Your test might be different from mine, but you'll get one. How you handle it determines who the hell you become. And let me tell you this. No matter what's in front of you, you grind. You grind when it's hard. You grind when you fail. You grind when you don't want to do a damn thing. When my alarm clock goes off at 4 a.m., my body says no, my mind says no. But you know what I say? This is what we do now. That's the mentality. Pain isn't just physical, it's mental. It's doing the same hard-ass thing over and over again, even when you don't want to. All that talk about ignoring your weaknesses and just focusing on what you're good at. Screw that. That's how people stay soft. That's how people cap their potential. If I bought into that weak-ass mindset, I'd still be a 400-pound nobody. I wouldn't be a SEAL. I wouldn't have gone to Ranger School, and I wouldn't have found out what the hell I'm capable of. You want quick fixes, 6-minute abs, go ahead and waste your time. But let me tell you, permanent results come from suffering. They come from grinding every day, from doing the hard shit no one else wants to do. That's the truth. You think I don't want to quit. Hell, I want to quit every single day. But here's the truth. Most dreams don't die because they're impossible. They die because of suffering. We tap out. And I'm not just talking physical pain. I'm talking emotional pain, spiritual pain, the kind of pain that breaks you down in relationships and life. When the suffering gets too real, we let go of the very thing we wanted most. I've been there. When I was going through rescue, I wanted it so bad I could taste it. But that water haunted me. It got in my head and broke me. When the suffering hit its peak, my dream died. And when my dream died, I damn near died with it. If I hadn't found the Navy SEALs, if I hadn't faced those demons every single day, I wouldn't be here right now. Here's the thing about demons. You can't outrun them. You can't hide. They know every corner, every shadow you're cowering in. You either face them or they'll own you forever. I had to redefine what it meant to be a man. I built that definition from the ground up because I didn't like the weak-ass man staring back at me in the mirror. I was 297 pounds of failure. I gained 125 pounds, left the military, left the Air Force, and was scraping by on $1,000 a month working at Echo Lab. I was a shell of a man and life had kicked my ass. That reflection in the mirror, it was my truth and it disgusted me. I made a decision. Either that reflection changes or I die trying. I didn't care what it took. I didn't care if it broke my body, left scars, or ripped me apart. I didn't care about the pain. I wasn't going to live another day looking at that guy in the mirror. Every night I'd stare into that mirror for 15 minutes while I shaved my head. I couldn't escape it. That reflection told me everything I wasn't. Every weakness, every lie I tried to tell myself. Most people can run from that, but I couldn't. That voice was in my head 24/7. You ain't shit. This is who you're going to be forever. So I said, fuck that. I decided to break myself off trying to fix that person in the mirror. That's why it's worth it. Every scar, every broken bone, every stretch mark, every ounce of pain, it's all earned. People look at me now and say, man, you're broken. Damn right, I'm broken, but I earned that shit. I earned every mark on my body, every ounce of sacrifice, those scars. They tell the story of someone who refused to quit, who refused to let the suffering define them. I was looking for strength my whole life and I didn't have a shred of it. My dad beat the living hell out of me, stole every ounce of confidence I had. I was weak as hell. But now I know what it means to fight back, to claw my way out of the bottom. And I'll tell you this, it's worth it. If you want to change, if you want to become someone better, you have to face the pain. You have to own it, embrace it, and grind through it. Because that reflection in the mirror, it doesn't lie. And one day it's either going to tell you you're a weak-ass quitter, or it's going to show you someone who earned every damn inch of their life. The mind is a sneaky son of a bitch, man. It knows all your weak spots. Your fears, your insecurities, every fucking excuse you cling to. And when you let it win, when you let it talk you out of facing that pain, you stay exactly where you are, weak, afraid, and stuck. Growing up, I was strong physically, but protecting my mom in that house all those years made me afraid. My dad beat the fucking life out of me every chance he got, and in all that chaos, I craved one thing: courage, strength. I wanted to know what it felt like to be unbreakable, to stand tall, no matter what came at me. I looked for it everywhere. Every time I saw a strong man, I thought maybe he knows the secret. Maybe he can show me how to be strong. But nobody could help me because nobody knew what the hell I was carrying inside. That idea of strength, it stuck with me. It became my obsession. And here's the truth, we all fucking suffer. Life is suffering, man. Every damn day something will come at you that sucks. The key isn't avoiding it, it's leaning into it. That's how you get ready. You do the hard shit every single day, so when life throws you into the fire, you don't burn, you thrive. I realized something about myself. I wasn't just weak. I was the weakest son of a bitch God ever created. But I didn't blame him. That wasn't going to fix me. I decided I had to take that weakness and turn it into a weapon. I wanted to be the hardest motherfucker on the planet. Am I there? Who knows? But I'll tell you this. You've got to have a goal that scares the shit out of you. When I was sitting there out of school bullied with no self-esteem, I knew one thing. No one was coming to save me. The only way I was going to change was by putting myself through hell by enduring more pain and suffering than anyone thought was possible. That's how you callous your mind. That's how you get strong enough to handle whatever life throws at you. You don't feel like getting up at 4 a.m. Get the fuck up anyway. You don't want to run. Go fucking run. You don't want to clean your house. Clean your damn house. That's how you grow. You don't get mentally tough by avoiding hard shit. You get it by doing the shit that sucks every day. Growth doesn't come easy. It doesn't come from reading books or watching motivational videos. It comes from pain. It comes from suffering. And yeah, some people won't get it. But if you want to grow, you've got to suffer. Here's the thing. 90% of life is going to suck. That's just the way it is. You can have money, a great partner, a nice house, whatever. But if you haven't faced your demons, if you haven't crushed the shit that's been haunting you your whole life, you'll still be miserable. And let me tell you something else. If you're still hung up on what someone did to you years ago, you're letting them win. You're letting them own your ass. You're being a weak ass pussy man. You're not grinding hard enough. If you were, you wouldn't have time to sit around thinking about that shit. The grind cleanses you, man. It doesn't just make you stronger. It wipes out all the hate, the excuses, the bullshit. The more you suffer, the more you grow the fuck up. That's where the joy is. The grind isn't just a way of life, it's life itself. You've got to squeeze every ounce out of your soul every single day until there's nothing left but greatness. Look, man, no one's coming into that sewer where you're stuck surrounded by your fears and excuses. It's dark, nasty, and full of rats, your own thoughts. You're the only motherfucker who can pull yourself out of there. There's that easy voice, the one that's soft as hell, telling you you're doing great. You're at 90% of your potential, maybe even 100%. That voice is full of shit, but it feels good, doesn't it? It's like a warm hug, a mommy whispering, it's okay, you've done enough. That's the voice we love because it doesn't demand anything. It doesn't care if you're weak, lazy, or broken. It just wants you comfortable. Then there's the other voice, the hard-ass voice, the one we try to drown out every day because it tells us the brutal fucking truth. You're not doing enough. You're nowhere near potential. That voice is the one that pushes, the one that demands more. But most of us run from it because it's uncomfortable as hell. That's where the 40% rule comes in. See, we treat our minds like a car with a governor on it. The car is built to hit 130, but you've got that limiter set at 91. The second you feel pain or discomfort, you slow down. You stop. And you tell yourself, that's it. I'm done. But you're only at 40%. There's so much more left in the tank, man. When you start pushing past those barriers, even just a little bit, 2%, 3%, that 40% becomes 50%, then 60%, then 70%. Before you know it, you're operating at a level you didn't think was possible. And guess what? You're still not at 100% because almost no one ever gets there. But you're a hell of a lot closer than you were. Most people take the easy route in life, the 4-lane highway. It's smooth, it's fast, it's got rest stops and signs to keep you comfortable. But me, I picked up the damn shovel and started carving my own path. It's hard, it's slow. And yeah, sometimes it feels like you're barely moving. But when you come out the other side, you've built something no one else has. Your own road. Everything I do is uncomfortable. Nothing feels good. But if I'm going to do something, I've got two choices. I can half-ass it, coast through and have people remember me as weak. Or I can attack it with everything I've got and let them remember me as a savage. And trust me, they're going to remember. Here's the thing. We rely too much on other people to get us through shit. We're always looking for a handout for someone to save us. But the truth is no one's coming. You're on your own, man. That's why you've got to build yourself. Total accountability. It's not selfish, it's survival. You fix yourself so that you can inspire others to fix themselves. It's not about running ultra marathons or writing books. It's about how far you can push yourself. The biggest trophy I've got isn't something you can see. It's the journey I've been through, the pain I've endured. That's the real prize, man. That's the fucking goal. The bigger the struggle, the deeper the peace. You don't get strong by avoiding suffering. You get strong by leaning into it, by embracing it. You've got to go back to the place that broke you and fix it. No one's going to do it for you. Most people don't know how to self-motivate. They need music, a pep talk, something external to get them going. But what the fuck do you do when the music stops? When the crowd is gone and it's just you and your mind? That's where the work is. For me, I don't need music when I run. I don't need hype. I've trained myself to be my own motivation. I suffer in silence. I stay out there longer than anyone else grinding while they're sleeping. And when I go home at night, I smile, not because it felt good, but because I know I pushed harder than you did. That's the difference, man. I don't run from the pain. I embrace it. I use it. And I let it turn me into something unbreakable. So stop looking for the easy way. Pick up your damn shovel and start digging. I live in a place most people would rather die than visit. I'm comfortable being unfucking comfortable. And I need you to think about that the next time you want to quit. You remember Hell Week. That voice in your head screaming, "Get me out of here." Guess what? I don't have that voice. While you're sitting there crying about how hard it is, I'm thriving in that misery. The dark side isn't just some bullshit concept for me. It's a place I built brick by brick. It's mine. It's evil, it's raw, and it's powerful. Most people can't survive there, but I've made it my home. You can't hurt me when I'm in that space. I created it and I control it. Here's the truth, and it's ugly as hell. Your brain is the most powerful weapon you've got. It's stronger than any fucking phone app or computer. All that tech is great, sure, but when life punches you in the face, when you're dealing with depression, loss, or failure, you can't Google your way out of it. You're alone. And when you're alone, your brain is either your worst enemy or your strongest ally. That voice in your head is going to tell you all kinds of shit. You can't do this. You're done. Just quit. If you don't learn to control that voice, it controls you. And if that happens, you're fucked, done. Game over. That's why I go dark. I shut out the noise, the distractions, the bullshit, and I sit with myself. Phones off, world off, just me and my brain. The faster the world gets, the easier it is to lose who the fuck you are. So I slow it all down. I force myself to listen to find out what's buried deep inside. Here's the crazy part. I found strength in the misery. When everyone else is breaking, crying, and giving up, I'm smiling. I'm thinking this is where I shine. I take that suffering and turn it into drive, into fuel. And it's unstoppable in misery. That's my playground. Let me tell you what happens when you own the pain. People start looking at you differently. They see you standing tall in the middle of hell and they think if you can do it, maybe I can too. That's how you lead, not with words, but with action. You show people what's possible and suddenly they're following you. I've done shit I didn't think was humanly possible. I've pushed through pain so bad it felt like my body was shutting down. Like that time I went 70 miles and thought I was dead, like actually dead. But I kept going, 31 more miles. I wasn't in the best shape of my life. I wasn't superhuman. I was just a guy refusing to quit. And when it was over, when I sat in that tub with my body wrecked and my mind on fire, I didn't feel numb. I didn't feel broken. I felt alive. I felt accomplished in a way no one could ever take away from me. I didn't want anyone to hand me a damn thing. I wanted to look in the mirror and say, I did this. I earned this, that moment, that pain. It was the best fucking moment of my life. And you know why? Because I owned every second of it. Look, man, this shit isn't optional. You can't just quit when things get tough. This isn't a hobby. It's not some weekend joke. This is a fucking lifestyle. Every word you say to yourself matters because there's no ghost, no magic, no training wheels holding you up. It's just you, raw, unfiltered, and alone with your grind. You bust your ass for years clawing and fighting to get a seat at the table. This ain't just any table. It's the one for the best of the best in your field. You finally get the invite. It's steak, it's lobster, it's the kind of dinner people dream about. Everybody shows up in their best, suit sharp, confidence high. But let me tell you this, if you stop grinding the second you sit down, you don't fucking belong there. You've got to stay uncommon among the uncommon. It's not enough to just get there. It's about proving every day that you deserve that spot. Don't stop when you're tired. Don't stop when it's convenient. Stop when the fucking job is done. And here's the reality. Every second you check your phone, every time you turn on that TV, you're in a fight. You're in a battle against the world, against the bullshit, against yourself. You've got to win that war in the morning. Do the shit you don't want to do first. Get uncomfortable, and guess what? You're already ahead of 99% of the people out there crying about their day. When I was at mile 81 of that race, my body was screaming at me to stop. My mind was telling me, you're done. You're not going to make it. But I don't quit. I don't even know how to spell that shit. And guess what happened? My body adapted. My mind said, fuck this, we're not stopping. I pushed through 20 more miles. I ran 101 miles in 19 hours and 6 minutes. That day, those 19 hours of hell changed me forever. It showed me that we're all capable of so much more than we think. You don't need special parents. You don't need fancy tools or some secret blueprint. You need to shut the fuck up, put in the work, and keep going when everything inside you says stop. Stop thinking nobody understands me. That's garbage. Everybody's going through something. You think you're the only one struggling. Wrong. There's someone out there who knows exactly what you're dealing with, but they're winning because they're not hiding from it. You're not special. You're just not working hard enough. You think you're grinding. You hit the gym for a month and now you're crying because you don't see results. You study for 30 minutes and bond your test. What the fuck did you expect? You haven't earned it. You've got to do more. You'll know you're doing enough when you feel it. When that overwhelming, undeniable voice inside says, oh shit, I'm outworking everyone. I'm fucking unstoppable. That's when you've earned it. Not before. Leadership today has gone soft as shit. It's all about instant gratification, giving someone a damn pat on the back just for showing up. You know what? Fuck that. Not everything in life deserves applause. You don't get a damn trophy for doing what you're supposed to do. Here's the truth. A pat on the back comes when you go above and beyond, not for being mediocre. Life doesn't hand out gold stars for waking up or doing the bare minimum. We're supposed to get up early. We're supposed to put in the work. We're supposed to be uncomfortable. That's the baseline, not the finish line. But now everyone's out here looking around hungry for validation. Here's a different leadership style for you. Stop looking for approval. Instead, focus on being better. Be a better teammate. Be better for your family. Be better for yourself. Stop needing a damn pat on the back to feel like you matter. Do the work, because that's what a hard motherfucker does. And while we're at it, let's talk about hunger. Out in the wild, you see a deer. It's just there chewing on a tree. But you see a dog tied to that same tree and it's been starved. That dog isn't just waiting anymore. It's pissed. It's hungry. That hunger makes it a savage. In life, you need to be that savage. NFL player once asked me, how do you keep that dog mentality? You know what I told him? I said, when you were younger, what did you want to be? He said, an NFL player. And then I hit him with this. That's why you lost it, man. You had a fucking finish line in your head. A true dog doesn't have a finish line. The hunger never goes away. You hit one goal. Good. Now set another. You ran a 5K, go do a 10K. You got a degree, get another. You're a doctor. Be the best damn doctor on the planet. It's 109 degrees outside and I'm still out there grinding because it's not enough. It's never enough. Life's going to test you. My test isn't the same as yours, but we're all tempted to quit, to give in, to take the easy way out. The difference is in how you respond. You've got to grind no matter what's in front of you. No excuses, no shortcuts, just relentless, brutal effort. And listen, this isn't about being special. I'm not an Olympian. I'm not a pro athlete. Hell, I fail at most things I do. But you know what? I still fucking grind. That's the difference. It's 1 a.m. pitch black outside. And if you see me running down some dark ass alley, know this. I'm grinding every damn day. No matter how I feel, I'm putting in the work. When that alarm clock goes off at 4 a.m. and your brain says, no, not today, you don't negotiate. You say, this is what we do now. Because the road to success is paved with pain, not just physical, but mental. Overwhelming, relentless mental pain. That's where growth happens. People like to say, don't worry about your weaknesses. Play to your strengths. That's some straight up bullshit. That's how people stay weak. If I had lived like that, I'd still be a 400-pound nobody sitting on my couch rotting away in some dead-end job. I would have never become a SEAL. I would have never learned what I was truly capable of. But here's the thing. People want shortcuts. They want 6-minute abs and overnight success. Yeah, maybe you'll get some results, but they won't last. Permanent results. Those come from you. They come from the suffering, from embracing the grind, and from doing the shit no one else wants to do. Most people fail in life because they're scared shitless of what everyone else is thinking. That's the raw, unfiltered truth. You're too worried about how you look, what people will say, and how they'll judge you. You're walking around putting people on pedestals like they're gods and you're nothing. I used to do that same dumb shit, thinking everyone was better than me, so I stayed quiet, bottled up, and let their opinions run my life. Guess what? That bullshit stops you from finding out who the fuck you really are. Let me tell you something. Always be ready. Life doesn't give a damn about your schedule. You're out here waiting for some special event, some magic moment to motivate you. Screw that shit. Every single day, life throws a challenge at you. Are you ready? Or are you just coasting, waiting for the next big thing? Today, I'm in the gym doing pull-ups, knocking them out on the minute. 5, 6, 7, just grinding. Some guy jumps in with me. We hit 30 minutes and he's already looking like he's seen a ghost. We hit an hour and he asks, how many can you do? You know what I told him? One more than you. That's the mentality. Always fucking be ready. This is who I am. And you've got to figure out who you are and own that motherfucker. If people don't like it, tell them to go fuck themselves. Stop trying to be what everyone else wants you to be. Here's the reality. Everybody's fucked up. Some of us were born into hell. And some of us just found our way there. Life is kicking your ass. Good, that's where the fire starts. Wildland firefighters have this tactic. When a fire is coming and there's no escape, you start another fire around you. It burns all the fuel and you're left standing in the black zone. A place where nothing can burn. That's what some of you need to do. Burn off the excuses, the weakness, the lies you tell yourself. Create your own black zone and get out of hell. Here's another thing. When you start winning, when you start doing big shit, guess what comes with it? Haters. Don't let them get to you. Don't cry about it. Use them. Let them fuel you. Put their voices in your mental Rolodex and pull them up when you need them. Someone says you're too slow, too dumb, not good enough. Good. Remember that shit. When you're tired, roll through those memories and let it light a fire in your soul. Torture them with success. We all have excuses. We all have messed up foundations. I used to lie about who I was trying to fit in, trying to get people to like me. That's how I lost myself, or more accurately, that's why I never found myself in the first place. I had no self-esteem, no sense of who the fuck I was. But through suffering, through working my ass off, grinding and learning, I found self-esteem. And when I found that door started opening, I stopped giving a fuck about people's opinions. Here's the real question. What do you want in life? Not what your mom wants, not what your friends want, not what society thinks you should want. What do you want? The problem is we're hit with so much noise. Phones, social media, constant comparison, that we don't even know what the hell we want anymore. You've got to shut all that shit off. Turn off the phone. Turn off the TV. Sit in a room with just you and your thoughts. That's right, be alone. Think about where you want to go, what you want to achieve, and who the hell you want to become. It takes discipline to do this because the world is moving fast as fuck and you're trying to keep up. But here's the thing. You don't need to keep up with shit. You need to slow down, go to that dark place in your mind and figure out who the fuck you really are. You keep asking, what if people make fun of me? What if I'm judged? I used to ask that too, but here's the thing. Once you stop caring about all that bullshit, your life changes. Slowly, but it changes. You stop comparing yourself to the person next to you. You stop looking at someone else's life and measuring your worth against theirs. That kind of thinking is poison. It corrupts your mind and holds you back. You're spending too much damn time watching other people, judging yourself against what they're doing. That shit's poison. You're letting their lives corrupt your own internal dialogue. You've got to stop looking around and start looking within. The only person you should be racing against is you. That's it. This is your fight against the person in the mirror, nobody else. That's the lesson I learned. For me, it's always been David Goggins versus David Goggins. Once you shut out all the noise, the bullshit, distractions pulling your attention, you'll see the truth. All that stress you're carrying, most of it is self-inflicted. You'll realize this is your race, your timeline, your fucking path. Stop worrying about everyone else's and get moving on your own. Now, let me ask you something. What are you doing with your life? Are you grinding every day or are you just coasting? For me, I keep it simple but savage. Every morning I'm up and running. I hit the gym. At night, I stress like my life depends on it. Because it does. I'm an introvert man. I don't want to be on social media. I don't give a shit about likes or followers. You know why? Because every second you're glued to your phone, you're wasting time you can spend with the most powerful thing you've got, your mind. I'm not here to waste time. I'm here to grow. I'm chasing goals. Right now, I'm training to cross Death Valley as fast as possible and then hit the top of Mount Whitney. But it's not just about the records. It's about finding more of me. The only way I can do that is to silence the world as much as I can. Life's getting faster, busier, louder, and if you don't take control, you'll lose yourself in the noise. Here's a hard truth. You've got to know what not caring really means. If your fiance, your family, or your friends don't believe in you, guess what? That's on them, not you. If they're not supporting you with an open mind, you've got the wrong support staff. When you're chasing something big, you need people who challenge you for the right reasons, not hold you back for their own fears or insecurities. Be clear about what kind of energy you let in. But here's the thing, you can't always look to be led. When shit gets brutal, when everyone else's heads are dropping and they're ready to quit, you need to be the one who steps up. Be the guy who says, fuck it. Let's go. Find the courage to lead when no one else will. That's what being a warrior is about. You know what else I've learned? The people who criticize others, the ones throwing sarcasm and doubt, they're projecting their own shit. Quick story, I had some family come into town once. Breakfast time. Goggins. Nowhere to be found. Why? Because I was out grinding. I come back from my run and here come the jokes. Oh, let me guess you ran 100 miles this morning. All the sarcasm, all the little digs. I let it slide, but inside I'm thinking you lazy motherfuckers have no clue what it takes. Every morning I see them lying in bed while I'm out there crushing it. I started studying my own fucking mind when I was a kid growing up in all that chaos. You got to learn one thing real quick. Don't listen to anyone else's bullshit but your own. They're tired. They've given up. But guess what? They're not you. This is all about the war going on in your head. Your mind's got the fucking upper hand. It's tactical, man. It knows your weaknesses. It knows your strengths. And it's always going to push you toward that nice, warm, cozy comfort zone where nothing fucking changes. You got to reprogram that shit. Change the vantage point. When you do that, you flip the game. Now you're in charge of your mind, not the other way around. So why the fuck is it so hard to get better? Simple. You're surrounded by the wrong people. Let's say you're an alcoholic. You're hanging with people who drink all damn day. And then you say you want to quit. But what do? They pull you right back in. They don't want you to change. I was that guy, worthless, lazy, going nowhere. And the people still stuck in that fucking rut. They're trying to drag me back to where they are like, it's some reunion of failure. Here's the truth. You got to look at your circle. Who the fuck are you spending your time with? If they don't push you to level up, they're dragging you down. You want to get better. Sometimes you got to be alone. Alone with your thoughts, alone with your pain. Alone with the truth. Most people don't want to go deep, man. They don't have the guts. But that's where the answers are, in the dark corners of your own fucking mind. We used to live like savages, man. Primitive. Back then it was all about survival. Now we've gotten soft, too much technology, too much convenience. We've stopped using the most powerful weapon we've got, our mind. Everything's got to be quick, easy, painless. But let me tell you something, no one wants to face a motherfucker who keeps coming. That person you knock down, they get the F back up like nothing happened. That's the scariest kind of human you'll ever meet. That's the person you don't want to fuck with. That's how I looked at every challenge in my life. My pull-up records, I failed over and over and over. Nothing came easy. My whole life was a grind. I never passed anything on the first try, not once. But guess what? That grind made me who I am. That's why I wrote that book. The people who knew me when I was at my worst, they're still out there, man. Still trying to pull me back into the sewer I clawed my way out of. They hate that I got out. They hate that I'm here. And they hate themselves because they're still stuck. But fuck them. I figured it out. And here's the thing, there's not much to figure out. Everyone's equation is different, but the math is simple. Hard work, discipline, and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's not about being sadistic or loving the pain. It's about understanding it. That's when I realized I was the fucking truth. But don't get it twisted. I don't believe in arriving. The second you think you've made it, you're done. You stop growing, you stop grinding. And that's the real failure. Most people who are failing, They're out there busting their ass, giving it everything they've got. And guess what? The loudest critics, they're the people who haven't even tried to do what you're doing. You're out there bleeding for your goals, and these losers on the sidelines are running their mouths. Screw them. Block that shit out. They don't even belong in the same room as you. When I went for the pull-up record, the first time I hit 2,500 pull-ups, I failed. People were tearing me apart, but I didn't care. Why? Because failure is the blueprint. Through failure, you get all the answers. I looked at every mistake, every breakdown, and said, okay, this is where I screwed up. This is what I need to fix. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. Failure. I don't even call it that. Hell no. It's not failure, it's discovery. It's finding every way that doesn't work until you figure out the way that does. You've got to flip your mindset. Stop crying about what didn't work and start celebrating the process. You're building something. Every misstep is a step closer. When I was out there grinding for 19 hours and 6 minutes chasing that record, I was in the worst pain of my life. But guess what? That pain was proof that I was alive, proof that I was pushing my limits, proof that I wasn't the weak little liar I used to be. No training, no cheering squad, no excuses. Just raw effort in my damn mind. That pain wasn't suffering. It was confirmation that I was doing something impossible. I became the truth that day. Not because I broke a record, but because I didn't quit. I didn't give in. That's the difference between people who succeed and people who run their mouths. You can't look at not getting what you want as failure. It's not failure, it's the process of becoming a master at something. Every stumble is a step toward greatness. People say to me, Goggins, you don't have peace. Damn right, I don't. I don't want it. Weak people chase peace because they can't handle the grind. That's not me. What makes me? Me is the dungeon, the dark place where I grind myself into dust. That's where I feel alive. If it's easy, it's worthless. I have to fail over and over. It's got to haunt me, piss me off, make me want to quit. And when I finally get it right, that's when it means something. That's when I know I've earned it. I don't want a participation trophy. I want to break myself in half and come out stronger. You've got to go to those places no one wants to go. You've got to sit with the pain, the doubt, the fear, and say, I'm not leaving until I figure this out. That's how you get better. Some guy stopped me and said, Goggins, I'm not improving. I set goals. I go after them. Why am I stuck? I asked him, are you scared of failing? He said, no. There it is. That's the problem. You're setting goals you know you can reach. Where's the challenge in that? Where's the fear? Where's the growth? You've got to set goals so damn big, they terrify you. You've got to wake up every day wondering if you can even pull it off. That's how you grow. That's how you become unstoppable. I came from hell, man. And yeah, some of that shit was handed to me by society, but let's not get it twisted. And I created a lot of my own hell too. I took what was already bad and made it insurmountable in my own damn mind. I was my own worst enemy building this nightmare that didn't even need to be as bad as I made it. That's what we do. We lie to ourselves, blow things up, and then act like we're victims of some unstoppable force. Bullshit. Here's the truth. You don't have a starting point if you're lying to yourself. No foundation, no ground to build on, just a fake-ass version of reality that keeps you stuck. You've got to get real. Not that fluffy motivational crap. Real. Strip away the lies and face the raw, ugly truth about who you are. For me, it was brutal. I had to admit I wasn't smart, I wasn't brave, I had zero self-esteem, and I wasn't worth shit. That was my starting point. Rock bottom. But at least it was real. If I had told myself lies like I'm strong, I'm courageous, I'm smart without earning it, I would have been stuck forever. Every lie pushes your starting point further back. The truth is painful, but it's where the work begins. I remember deciding I'm going to run 4 miles. First day out, I ran a 1/4 mile, walked my sorry ass back home, and sat on the couch feeling like a loser. I thought, man, there's no way I can do this. But here's the thing. I had quit on myself too many damn times before. And I couldn't live with the thought of being 50 years old and knowing I gave up yet again. That thought haunted me. I didn't change overnight, though. I didn't go from that couch to running ultra marathons the next day. It was a grind, a slow, painful process. But I became obsessed. Obsessed with getting better. Obsessed with not quitting, obsessed with proving myself wrong. The only person who could fix my mess was me. And that's exactly what I did. I became obsessed with being obsessed. We've all got a voice in our head. That voice loves to lead us to comfort. Mine did too for years. It said, take the easy road. Stay on the couch. Don't try too hard. But there was another voice, a voice that scared the shit out of me. It said, get off your ass. Go to the dark places where nobody wants to go. Over there in that rock pile where it's lonely, painful, and brutal. That's where the answers are. That voice wasn't gentle. It wasn't kind. But it was the truth. And I didn't want to listen because over there was pain. Over there was accountability. Over there was me looking in the mirror and owning every single thing that had gone wrong in my life. Even the shit other people caused, it was still mine to own. And I didn't want to go to that place. But I had to. I was living as a damn clown, fake as hell, trying to find myself in hairstyles, saggy pants, and excuses. None of it worked because none of it was real. The world will screw you over, no doubt about it. Society will feed your insecurities, your fears, your doubts. But let's be honest, you help it. You're complicit. And until you own that, you'll stay stuck. I had to develop a mindset that couldn't be broken. I had to armor plate my damn mind. And let me tell you, that doesn't come from sitting around feeling sorry for yourself. It comes from work, relentless, brutal, gut-checking work. It comes from telling yourself the truth and backing it up with action. You've got to face the pain, the fear, the doubt. You've got to grind until there's no quit left in you. That's how you build something unbreakable. When life starts beating the shit out of you. Physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever the hell it is, you've got to have something in your arsenal to fight back. For me, it was simple. You can't hurt me. You can't hurt me. That became my battle cry. I'd say it to myself every damn time I was getting crushed. And guess what? It worked. Now, let me clear something up. This isn't about beating yourself up for no reason. This isn't about self-hate. It's about being real with yourself. The easy voice will let you settle for 20% of your potential. It'll trick you into thinking that 90% of 20% is your max. But deep down, you know the truth. You're wasting the other 80% because that's where the pain is. That's where the suffering, failure, self-doubt, and darkness live. And guess what? That's also where the fucking light is. To reach that light, you've got to walk through all the shit you're avoiding. That journey from 20% to 100% isn't fun. It's brutal. It's raw. And most people won't do it because they'd rather stay in their cozy little corner of mediocrity. But if you're asking me how to get there, you already know. There's no magic formula, no hack, no shortcut. It's simple. You just got to fucking do it. When the alarm goes off at 4 a.m., you don't negotiate. You don't whine. You don't hit snooze. You say, this is what we do now. Period. It's not about what you feel like doing. It's about what needs to be done. There's no magic to it. It's like breathing. You don't think about breathing. You just do it. That's how you've got to approach this grind. Look, man, the pain isn't always physical. The real pain is mental. It's doing shit you don't want to do over and over again. It's choosing discipline over comfort day in and day out. And if you stick with it, if you push through that pain, it becomes your new normal. It becomes as automatic as breathing. Here's the problem with the world today. Too many people are managing expectations and tripling down on their strengths while ignoring their weaknesses. That's weak-ass bullshit. If I lived by that philosophy, I'd still be a 400-pound nobody sitting on my couch blaming the world for my problems. I wouldn't be a Navy SEAL. I wouldn't have crushed hell weak. I wouldn't have gone to Ranger School. I wouldn't be standing here telling you this. Why? Because I refused to cap my potential. I didn't manage expectations. I blew them the fuck up. Here's the thing. There's no cap on the human mind. None. The only cap is the one you put on yourself. Your brain is the most powerful weapon you have, but if you don't take control of it, it'll control you. You've got to tell your mind where to go and how the fuck to get there. If you don't, it's game over. When you quit, your brain shuts down and says, we're done. No need to keep going. That's why so many people never grow. They're too busy giving themselves permission to quit when shit gets hard. But when you decide, nope, not quitting. This sucks, but I'm staying right here. Your brain doesn't have a choice. It has to expand. It has to grow. It has to figure shit out. That's how you start unlocking parts of your mind you didn't even know existed. When you're drowning in pain, misery, suffering, and you refuse to quit, you force your brain to operate at a higher level. And the more you do it, the more your mind adapts. That's where the magic happens. Not in the comfort zone, but in the fucking struggle. Here's the truth. Nothing gets done without hard work. Can't remember the material for a test. Read it again. Still don't get it. Write it down. Still struggling. Read it again. Repeat the process until you've got it. Can't swim because you're negatively buoyant. Get back in the water. Sink. Try again. Keep going back until you figure it out. Your mind will eventually say, okay, he's not stopping. We've got to make this work. That's how you win. Through relentless repetition, through suffering, through sheer fucking persistence. For the longest time, I thought struggle was something to avoid. But I was wrong. Struggle is where the growth is. Struggle is where you build the armor for your mind. Every day you face the hard shit, you're training yourself for life. Not for comfort, not to stay weak, but to be unbreakable. You've got two options. Stay the 300-pound guy spraying for roaches, praying for life to change. Or fail and fail and fail and fail again until you succeed. I chose the latter. I was 6'8" and 297 pounds when I walked into that recruiter's office and told him I wanted to be a Navy SEAL. That guy looked me up and down like I was out of my fucking mind. He measured me, weighed me, and said, you need to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months to even get into the program. You know what I did? I walked out of there, grabbed a damn chocolate milkshake, and went back to Ecolab. I told myself this shit ain't gonna happen. But as I sat there, I realized something. This couldn't be it for me. Spraying cockroaches and staying fat. Fuck that. So I quit my job, went home, and decided to change everything. I became the most obsessed motherfucker on this planet. I built a version of myself that could take on any pain, any judgment, any suffering. I fucking invented that guy. And you know how I did it? By embracing the pain. By running headfirst into suffering. When I started opening those doors, man, I saw the truth. My potential was endless. The more I pushed, the more I realized what was possible. My mindset shifted. I stopped being afraid of the work and started craving it. Fast forward to today, I'm out on a long run trying to PR. The first half, smooth as hell. I'm locked in, pacing, breathing, just flowing. But at mile 15, the wall shows up, my legs hurt. I'm dehydrated. My mind starts whispering, just quit. Call your girl to pick you up. You've done enough. But I don't quit. I tell myself, get out of your fucking head and stay hard. Most people don't get it. They think they've earned a break, that they deserve to take it easy. Let me tell you something. You don't deserve shit until you've put in the work day after day, year after year. There's always someone out there who wants what you have, your job, your life, your family. They're hungry. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but if it is, it's on you to make sure they never take it. You want to know what made me who I am today. Being vulnerable as fuck. Breaking myself down to the damn rock bottom and standing there completely exposed and saying, this is who I am. That's how I fixed my life. By looking people in the eyes and owning my shit. You know, man, I've got character flaws. I've lied. I've cheated. I've been insecure. I've pretended to be someone I'm not, just so you'd accept me. Yeah, I was that person. And guess what? That's okay. Life creates us, our pain, our fears, our insecurities, but you can't sit there and let that shit define you. You have to go back to the place where it all started, to the root of it, and fix what's broken. Here's the thing. Nobody's coming to save your ass. Nobody. The cavalry isn't on its way. You've got to pull yourself out of the fucking pit, no matter how deep it is. That's where the courage comes in for me. I was an insecure, scared little kid. Nobody helped me. And you know what? That was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because it forced me to suffer, to face the pain, to put in the work, to rebuild myself. I had to build calluses in my mind, the same way you build calluses on your hands. I looked at myself as the weakest person God ever created, but I didn't blame God. No excuses, no pity parties, just raw, brutal ownership. So I made it my mission to become the hardest motherfucker alive. Am I that? Hell, I don't know. But you need a goal, and my goal was simple. Nobody's coming to save me, so I have to save myself. All those people projecting their insecurities onto you. Fuck that. Flush it out. Get rid of all the bullshit and strip it down to one thing: yourself. You've got to believe in yourself more than anything else. If you believe in God, fine. If you don't, fine. But right now, for you to find greatness, it's not going to come from a book, a podcast, or even from me. I might give you the spark, but you got to light the fire. That means going into the darkest corners of your mind. No distractions, no noise, just you in that mirror. Here's the truth. The only thing you should be afraid of is the reflection staring back at you. Once you conquer that person, greatness is on the other side. Greatness isn't some grand achievement or a gold medal. It's whatever the hell you dream of in your mind. But first, you've got to see it. You've got to create that vision. Then comes the hard part. Figuring out how the fuck to get there. That's where the grind starts. And it starts with shutting the world out, being still, and going deep into yourself. You've got to ask the hard questions. Why the hell am I here? Why do I exist? If you don't figure that out, you'll spend your whole life searching, always asking why. But here's the thing. Take pleasure in being where you are right now. The pain, the struggle, the loneliness. Because no one wants to be in your shoes, but that's where you grow. That's where you find out what the fuck you're made of. And when you figure it out, don't stop. Keep pushing. Keep grinding. You want to know what separates the weak from the strong. It's how you handle that moment. The moment when you're in the shittiest environment imaginable and everyone around you is looking for the exit. You can see it in their eyes. They're begging for it to end, hoping anyone will pull them out. That's when time slows down. That's when you find out what you're made of. You see, everything I didn't want to do, every single thing that made me uncomfortable as hell, that's what built me into the savage I am today. It's not just about what you're saying to yourself. It's about backing that shit up with work. When I was getting beat down, physically, mentally, spiritually, I didn't fold. I told myself, you can't hurt me. Over and over, I made that my mantra. But let me be real with you. I had a haunting voice in the back of my head, and it was there for years. That voice was whispering, you could be more. You could be a lot fucking more. Deep down, I knew it was right. I knew I could pull off whatever I wanted, but I was scared of the work it would take to get there. Why? Because I wasn't gifted. I wasn't born with brains or freakish athletic talent. I wasn't special. If I wanted to step into the same arena as the elite, I had to outwork them. And that shit scared me. So for years, I avoided it. I ran from the grind, and it haunted me every damn day. I wanted the comfort zone. I wanted the pat on the back, the hey, you're doing great bullshit that keeps you soft. But let me tell you something. That comfort zone will trap you. It'll keep you mediocre, keep you from accomplishing a damn thing. So I flipped the script. I became the biggest, baddest motherfucker in my own head. I stopped sugarcoating shit and looked in the mirror, really looked. I saw the truth staring back at me. A lonely, depressed, insecure man, desperate for acceptance. It was pathetic. And that's the moment I owned it. Yeah, life had dealt me some shitty cards. My dad, my upbringing, all that, it played a role. But you know what? That wasn't an excuse. Nobody was coming to save me. Nobody was going to sit me down and say, it's okay, David. You'll be fine. No, fuck that. I wasn't fine. And I wasn't going to be fine until I stood up and did something about it. Taking that stand. It hurt like hell. It meant confronting all the ugly truths about myself. It meant realizing that the guy I wasn't worth a damn. But here's the thing. When you face that truth, when you stop running from it, you unlock something most people will never find. You unlock the ability to grow. Not just physically, but mentally, spiritually, you evolve. Because nothing feels better than getting after it, challenging yourself every single day, and proving to yourself that you're tougher than whatever life throws at you. You can't live with a normal mindset. You can't rely on average muscles. You've got to build a mindset that thrives in chaos that's strongest when everything around you is falling apart. Here's the thing. If you keep taking the easy way out, you'll never count for shit. You'll never know what you're capable of. I used to be a chameleon blending into life, just scraping by. But I made a choice. I stopped aiming for good enough and started chasing the impossible. And that's what separates the 1%ers. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's the willingness to grind like there's no tomorrow to do what most people won't even try. So ask yourself, are you ready to own your shit? Are you ready to stop running, stop hiding, and face the truth? Because if you are, you'll find out that the person you could be is waiting on the other side of that mirror. And when you get there, you'll realize it was all worth it. Stay hard.